Happy Thursday.
Will you join us as we embark upon making ourselves better from the inside out? We have a lineup of dynamic speakers. We have topics that are uncharted and never discussed before that we will share. Our only desire for the day is that you become better.
You can stifle a victory with the anticipation of failure.
Wow.
And that
Very
day,
If you are viewing my face, if you are listening to my voice, that means you are tuned into the Lady Nakia Wright Show, a life reimagined. Thank you. My name is Lady Nakia Wright, and as you can see, I am not there with you tonight. Oh my goodness, I really wanted to be. But in this season of my life, I vowed not to break my promises to me. And tonight just happens to be one of those nights where I'm calling myself on the carpet. My man child, as you know, if you follow me on social media, I'm one of those stalker parents. He's a senior in high school, and tonight just happens to be an evening of senior activities. And I'm going to be there, the loudest one in the room, the proudest one in the room, saying, "That's my baby. Yes!" But although that I'm not there, tonight you are in for a rare treat. The one who keeps me all the way together. The one that is a servant among servants. The one that I couldn't imagine my life without, and many others have the same testament. The one and only Charmonique Irene Bynum. CRB. What movie is that from? I'm such a Bama. I love movies. Oh my goodness. I bet you can't guess which movie that's from. But anyway, Charmy is there tonight, and one of the greatest qualities of a leader is can you serve? And tonight she'll be discussing those things. I don't know where I would be without her. You need someone in your corner that's not a yes person, but a person that's there that offers a crazy, chaotic word balance. One who possesses answers when life is like, and you can't find the questions to ask, but the person that's closest to you have walked with you so long, has understood you and have your heart, will know what you need at the time where life has literally choked the questions right out of you. If you are a leader and you have a team of people around you, she's not going to do well with those who are seeking opportunities to be seen. But if you have someone who has the heart of their leader, who believes that their greatness is hinged upon whether or not I help them get there, Charmonique is going to speak to the sentiments of their heart. She is one of those people that will show a true servant how to go about doing the things of the kingdom in decency and in order. Because although you have a willing heart, although you may want to do it, there is decency and order in every arena that you walk in. And it is not something that you pick up easily. It's something that you have to learn. And listen, in this season of life, I don't want experiences to be my greatest teacher. If you have the wisdom to possess, to help me to get to where I need to be, and to help me to produce greatness in the earth, give me your wisdom so it won't take me 20 years to learn what I can learn in one moment. And if that's you, tonight is your moment. Get your pen and papers out. Invite your friends, host a watch party, listen to one of the wisest servants to ever walk the earth in this season. She has answers, she has information, and she is a wealth of knowledge. The Lady Nakia Wright Show, A Life Reimagined, is a life that many of us have history. And if we based our present on our history, we would not be here. So the life that we're living is a life that we've never even thought of. We never even imagined. And together, we're making impact. Together, we're being an answer in the earth. I look at myself often and I say this: if God can save me, He can save anyone. So, with this reimagined life, I'm going to be an answer, past and all. Let me tell you something. My present and my future looks so much better than what my past ever did. I'm grateful that I did not give up on the days that I wanted to. And let me tell you something. It's no sentiments, it's no testament of myself. It's who God surrounded around me that on my give up days, it didn't work. Tune in tonight. It's going to be a phenomenal show. I promise you. Invite your friends, invite everyone. I will be in the studio next Thursday at 8 o'clock p.m. I hope I'll have my hubby because we'll be celebrating our 6-year anniversary next week. Woo woo! We made it 6 years. Oh my gosh. What a lifetime to go. So I hope Bishop Wright will join me because we have so many things that we want to share, so many moments that we want to discuss, and he's going to be there. Y'all pray with me. He's going to be there. Until then, enjoy tonight's show. Charmy, I love you. Laura behind the scenes, you are incredible. The team of we is making things happen. Get your team of we and be an answer in the earth. I'll see you next Thursday.
Woo! All right now. Now let me tell y'all, if y'all was watching that, Lady Wright, she has a way of raising the bar. And you just look at it like, Lady Wright, are you sure that I could get up there? But here we are, getting up there. So if you're just now joining us, welcome to the Lady Nakia Wright Show. I am your guest host for the evening, Charmonique Irene. And tonight, look, we're doing things a little different. I have a guest host. I have a guest for the night, Denise Lucas, who is the founder of Serenity Assisting Solutions, LLC. But before we get to that, we're just going to talk a little bit. We just chatting. So if you're on Facebook, I believe Periscope is on its way up. Once you get in, if you have any questions that you want to ask, please feel free. Look, this is an open dialogue. I'm here to answer questions. I'm here to be an answer. Whatever it is that you need, I'm here to do my best. So tonight we're just going to talk a little bit about the art of serving. Now, I know that people think that they have serving down to a science, but I tend to take a different approach. Serving for me is laying down your agenda to fulfill the need of another person. So I've been in ministry now for 19, 20 years. And I've been in this position for about 13 or 14. And I have seen quite a bit. I mean, I've seen it all, I feel like. And one of the things that I think that I would like to start with is serving your leader. Serving as an administrator, serving as an armor bearer, an assistant. This is not a stepping stone for something bigger. Meaning, if you're looking to outdo your leader, then this is not it for you. This is not it. This is not where, oh, you know what? I'm with my leader all the time. I could do that. No. See, we are called, and when I say we, I mean administrators, armor bearers, assistants. We are called to be the arm. The arm. There's already a hand. Pastor, prophet, evangelist, teacher, evangelist. Did I say that? Apostle. I could have missed one. But that is the hand. We are the arm. What we do is we get the information from the body to the hand. The information from the body to the hand. So that means if you're in whatever ministry you're in, if someone in the body needs help, needs assistance, you as the arm, you might take that back to your leader, but you are here to assist, to help do the work of the ministry. You're not here to, let me get close. You know what? I figure if I take my pastor's car to the car wash every week, I think that I might be able to preach next week. No, that's not what this is. We don't overstep. There are boundaries. There are lines. And oftentimes, it's easy to take and to see the humanity of our leader and think that we can do better because we know their flaws, which is not the case at all. If you are privy to the intimate parts of your leader's life, then it is up to you to keep that, to hold it sacred to your heart, to your chest. Pray, pray, and then move as the Spirit leads you in the work of the Lord, right? So, I know that I kind of just jumped right in, but I felt it was necessary to make sure that we are all on the same page. Look, we aren't here to replace. We aren't here to try to become something that we aren't. We're not using this as a platform for something greater. No, quite the contrary. Service keeps you humble. Service keeps you at the feet of Jesus. See, there's a thing of service has a way of making you feel like you can achieve anything, right? Like, oh, you know what? I'm going here, I'm going there, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I think that now I'm ready to just jump out there. Yeah, but then the humility that you should be possessing should cause you to remember, I'm at the feet. I'm at the feet of Jesus doing his will. There's a text that talks about Mary and how she washed the feet of Jesus to prepare him, right? That's kind of who we are. We as assistants, as armor bearers, as servants, we are here to prepare the way for the one that's coming that is greater than us, right? So our leaders, here's the thing, and I'll say it this way. I had a lady on my Instagram. So I started my own company, organization, the CAA, and I'll get into that a little bit. I started that, and I started posting some things, and one of the things I posted said, never let the humanity of your leader something or other. Like it was saying, don't look at your leader, you see his or her faults or flaws, and then think that gives you reason not to serve, right? So this lady, I don't know how she even found my page, really, quite honestly. I looked to see how many friends we had in common. We don't have none in common. I looked to see how many posts she had. She only had 2, but she was following like 800. And I was like, who is this lady? And so she commented under the picture and was like, we are not to serve man, but God. Man is not our leader. Okay. So I went into her DM. Like, hey, I see what you're saying, but let me just make this clear for you. The Bible is very clear about serving. The Bible is very clear about armor bearing. The Bible is very clear about assisting and administration. The Bible is clear on every topic that we could ever imagine, right? So I gave her a rundown of everything, and at the end she stopped responding. I was like, ma'am, don't come into my page trying to check me on what it is that I believe, because clearly you do not believe the same thing. And look, it's okay for us to agree to disagree, but if you want to drop knowledge and you want me to be open to that knowledge, how about you be open as well? Everybody wants to try to say what serving should look like, but nobody's actually willing to put in the work that it takes to be a servant. I was preparing for the show, and I know that we typically don't read out like the whole word. So I was like, Charmy, please remember this. Please remember this. So I wouldn't forget, so I wouldn't have to pull out my Bible, because, we don't typically do that. So what I did was I was like, okay, Charmy, you can remember this. And it's 1 Samuel 14, verses 13 and 14. The Bible talks about Jonathan and his armor bearer. And I'll spare you all the whole chapter. It's a great chapter, especially if this is what you say that the Lord has called you to. If you say that he's called you to this ministry, then I promise you, 1 Samuel chapter 14, verses 13 and 14, the whole chapter is great, but those 2 verses, I promise you, they will speak to your way. They will speak to your ability to serve. And what they talk about is how Jonathan was like, hey, this is Charmy's version, okay? This ain't the Message, this ain't ESV, this is CIB version today, okay? So the Bible is like, hey, Jonathan said to his armor bearer, hey, look, we going up here. We going up here to fight. Now, if the Philistines say to us, look, come on down here, we going to stay where we are. If they say come up, then we going to go up because the Lord, that is our sign. The Lord has given them to us. And the armor bearer was like, Jonathan, cool, let's go. If you say let's go, we going. And then the Philistines, hey, come on up. And Jonathan was like, okay, I'm going. And they went. And when they went, the Bible says that Jonathan slew his enemies. He took them out. The armor bearer was not on the side holding his coat. The armor bearer was not on the side on Twitter looking to see what he could post about it. The armor bearer was not on the side running to get water. The armor bearer was not on the side parking Jonathan's buggy. He wasn't doing any of those things. The Bible says that while Jonathan was fighting and killing his enemies, that his armor bearer was to his back doing the same thing. Doing the same thing. And I like that chapter because it never says that the armor bearer questioned Jonathan's motives. It never said, oh, are you sure we going up here today? I mean, this Taco Tuesday, I'm trying to get around the corner real quick. It never said that. It never said that the armor bearer was like, well, I don't think that we should go up there because it's just the two of us. It never said he was scared. It never said anything except, if you say we fighting, today we fighting. If you say today we overtaking because the Lord has given them to us, then today we are overtaking. So if you want to be in a position of leadership, servant leadership, then you are to be doing the same thing as your leader. You're not to be, so we've made it so churchy to serve. We've made it so, well, if my leader don't have this kind of water, then I don't know what they gonna do. They gonna do what they was called to do. Now I am not saying that it is wrong to do that. I do these things. Look, I will go get Bishop orange juice from Timbuktu if I have to. I will go get Lady Wright whatever it is that she needs. But what I don't do is while they're fighting battles, I'm sitting somewhere asleep. I'm not doing that. If you are in a place of serving, then you are to be doing the exact same thing. You should be fighting wars too. Your war may not be as big as your leaders because they have a different assignment. But if you as a servant are distracted by every little thing that comes your way, then you're not going to effectively be able to serve because you leave your leader with gaps. You leave your leader open for hits that they wouldn't normally take if you're somewhere off assignment, being upset by the little things, being frustrated by the little things. Like I've seen it in church where, man, you go in and you have a leader that goes in and the armor bearer has the person's coat and the armor bearer will flip out if they can't stand or sit right with their leader. There's nothing wrong with that if your leader requires that, but the attitude behind it. See, I'm not like most when it comes to serving. I will stand all the way in the back while Lady Wright is up front or Bishop is up front. I will stand all the way in the back, but what I will do is make a clear path so I can see, like, oh, Lady Wright needs a mint. Oh, okay, let me go get the cement, and I'm going to run it up there, and I'm going to slide it to her real quick, and then I'm going to go back to my seat. But I'm not hovering over her, unwrapping and making sure I take the wrapper bag and taking the mint and put it in her mouth. I'm not, look, look, she was chewing gum long before I came. So I think sometimes we we make too much of the act, but not enough of the relationship, if I can say it that way. So look, I want y'all to know I got a whole lot down on this paper. I haven't said not one thing yet. So what we're gonna do is we'll keep moving along because I have such a heart for servants because they are me. I am them. And so if at any time I can help build their confidence in the call, then that's what I would like to do. And so sometimes I make little jokes here and there about things, like that. But what I really mean to do is to tell you you're more than just getting and holding a coat. If you're in this call, you are more than that. You are more than standing around waiting for your day. You can have your day and serve all at the same time, which is something we'll get to a little later because that's one of the things I wanted to ask our guests. Because I know that oftentimes as a servant, sometimes you feel as though, well, I don't really want to do my own thing because, what if? And I want to be committed here and I don't want my thing to take from here. So how do I navigate between serving and owning? And how do I take the step and the faith and the courage to step out and say I can have and in both, right? So that's one of the things we'll talk about a little later. But so let's just talk a little bit about what qualifies you for service. So I'm a storyteller. And I remember this one time I was in high school. It was my last year. And I wanted to be at the church so bad. I had just gotten saved. And that new save, oh, the blood of Jesus, the blood, you just everywhere. The zeal to knowing that, wait, God has saved me. I want everybody to know. But it's in a fiery, let's go get it kind of way, immediately. So that was me, right? I remember being up all night. I'm talking about all night. I'd be up all night, and I remember my pastor saying he would be up all night praying. So I'm like, oh, well, guess what? I'm about to be up all night praying. So I would pray all night. I read a little bit, pray some more, read a little bit, fall asleep, be in the word, sleep, drooling on the page. Matthew 3:15 would have drool all over it. And then I'd wake up, and I'd be like, ooh, I'm sorry, Jesus. And I start praying again. And I did this all night. Every day. I'm talking about from 10 o'clock at night to well into 6 o'clock in the morning. No sleep. I would go to school and I would be super tired because I felt like my life required prayer all night studying, all night worship. It just required that. I would get up from school and I would walk to the church. The church was, I don't know if y'all know where Suitland High School is. So I would walk from Suitland High School over to Ritchie Road to where we used to worship. I would walk over there every day. I go in the sanctuary. I would pray. I'd move chairs. I'm talking about so our sanctuary at the time sat maybe 300. I would take each chair, stack them, move them to the back of the wall, and vacuum the whole space. And I put it back. Nobody would ever know that I was in there doing it. And then I turn around and I leave. And I did that at least 2 or 3 times a week for years, maybe 2 years, maybe 3. It seemed like a really long time. So I did that. And what that taught me is how to be committed. I walked there on days where it rained. I walked there on days when it snowed. I walked there when it was super hot. But it taught me consistency. It taught me, again, what are we talking about? What qualifies you to serve. It taught me how to be instant in season and out of season. It taught me how to become at all costs. So you can't tell me that you want to be a servant and every time the wind blows, you're carried away. if you can't be committed to where you are, then there is no way that you could be a servant to your leader. See, I've had to learn how to win victories and battles that I wanted to give up in. I've had to look at life and be like, hey, life, guess what? You're not about to get me because my leader needs me. My victory is tied to my leader's success. My victory is tied to it. That means if at any time I leave the window open for something to come in, and it were to come in and overtake my leader, then I have not done my job. I am not saying that we are there as like superheroes and we're there to like, save the day. No, but we are called to be consistent and to be instant. You have to evolve, you have to change, and don't change who you are, but you have to be willing to, in the words of Sierra, level up. You have to be willing to look at the unknown and say, oh, nah, we could get this done. No matter what, we can get this done. Even if it looks like there is no way, you pray the way, and then you go get it done, and then you come back to your leader saying, here, I got this for you. This is what we do. So you cannot be a soft servant. Soft. And when I say soft, I mean you cannot roll over every time life hits you. Every time life hits you. Some of these times you got to hit back now. You got to hit back if you're called to be an armor bearer, an assistant, an administrator in God's church. You have to hit back. And I know it seems like such a simple notion, but you'd be amazed at how many people want to do service, but not the work of overcoming in your own personal life. Like you have to be able to overcome here first, and then you can become in the walk. You see, so let me just say this. Y'all need to take the class. And when I say the class, I mean the CAA class, because when I tell you, Denise is here. Denise took the class. Now, I'm not saying that I have all the answers, but I will say this. The CAA, which is, like I mentioned before, an organization that I created to be a community of help, of answers, of resources. What I try to do is make it so iron sharpens iron. I'm not here to dictate to you. I'm here to look, let's help. Let's grow in this thing together. And the reason why I bring that up now is because one of the key points that I make in that class is the power of prayer. And that's where we're at this junction. Right before we get ready to take a commercial real soon. So the power of prayer. There is no way that we can servant lead without prayer. Prayer is what grounds you. Prayer is what seals you. Prayer is how you know what it is that your leader wants and what your leader needs. Because the Holy Ghost will reveal it to you, not for selfish gain, but because the work needs to be done. Lady Wright talked about in her opening video how I'm an answered prayer, all of these things, but her and Bishop Wright are an answered prayer. They are an answered prayer because there is no possible way that I'd be able to serve without them walking in the call that they're supposed to walk in, and without the teachings of prayer from Bishop Wright. Prayer has grounded me in times where I wanted to just get up and be like, you know what? I'm good on this. Like, I don't have to do this no more. But prayer has said, Sharmi, don't abandon the assignment for that. What are you talking about? You talking crazy now. But that's what prayer will do for you. So prayer is the key to being a servant to your leader, because there will be plenty of days where you will get up and you will be like, you know what, I am good on this, I have had enough. And you know what'll happen? The prayer, the relationship that you have with the Lord will kick in, and you'll be like, okay. And it's so funny, Bishop says it this way sometimes. He'll be like, I know you didn't want to come to church today. I didn't want to come to church today. But I'm putting on my clothes. There I go, putting on my pants. And all the while you fussing, you on your way to the call. So that's what prayer does for you. Prayer is simply saying back to God what his word says. Simply put. And so doing that over and over, consistency, repeatedly, that is the thing that keeps you and ties you and connects you to your leader even more. We could talk about many things, making sure you're staying on the same page, bridging the gap between your leader and the house. I mean, we could talk about many things. However, because I get lost in stories and stuff like that, and I just keep going, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick commercial break. And the next as soon as we come back, what you'll see is me and my guest, and we're just going to talk a little bit. And look, thank you for joining in for this for as long as you have. I truly appreciate you, because I know you came looking for Lady Wright, but today you got me. And so thank you for being with me tonight. All right, we're going to take a quick little break, and when I come back, it'll be me and Denise Lucas, the founder of Serenity Assisting Solutions, LLC.
Will you join us as we embark upon making ourselves better from the inside out? We have a lineup of dynamic speakers. We have topics that are uncharted and never discussed before that we will share. Our only desire for the day is that you become better.
You can stifle a victory with the anticipation of failure.
Wow.
And that day.
Welcome back. All right, now this bell is not like the bell that we normally have. I don't know where that other bell is at, but we need it because the station bell is a little. Yeah, it's a little special, but that's all right. We're going to make it work tonight. All right, so welcome back. If you've been with us for the last 40 minutes, I can't believe I talked that long, but if you've been with us for the last 40 minutes, we've just been talking about the art of serving. And so with me, I have Denise Lucas. Hey, of Serenity Assisting Solutions, LLC. And we're just going to kind of dive right in because we press for time. So if it seems like we're rushing a little bit, just know you can get this information on either one of our sites, and we'll make sure that you have everything you need by the end of this night, all right? So, Denise, let's just kind of start with how we met. Because what's interesting is I met Denise through my class, and I don't even know how she got there. Like, you know how, like, when you're in a network, like, it's like, oh, I know them because I know them and them and them and them. But, like, I was like, I don't know. I saw the little email and was like, I don't know them at all, but okay. And I even went and, like, looked you up, but I was like, we don't have no mutual friends. I don't know her. So I'm actually going to let her say, like, how she found the CAA and just, yeah.
Well, I actually am one of the administrative assistants for my church.
Okay.
And somehow, some way, I don't even know, The information was passed along to my co-pastor, who
Okay.
passed it along to us,
Wow.
and we signed up, and it was such a phenomenal experience for our whole administration team. Like,
Thank you.
y'all have to come to this next session that she has because we learned so much, we grew so much. We even had her come to train our admin team earlier in the year for our Minister of Order weekend.
And I was like,
it was
I
phenomenal.
might need to come sit with y'all. Like, y'all might need to talk to me. Like, why y'all got me back here?
It was such a God ordained moment, and I'm really thankful.
Yeah, I can honestly say we are connected because God saw fit to connect us. I have, again, neither one of us even knows how we got the info, but here we are, almost a year later.
Over a year.
Yeah, because it was back in June. So, look, I'm enjoying the ride.
Yes,
I'm enjoying the
absolutely.
ride. So, tell me a little bit. How long have you been in ministry as far as administration and serving your leaders?
For about 4 years.
Okay.
I've been in church all my life and technically serving all my life. You know, get on the usher board, sing in a choir,
Right.
all that other good stuff. But serving as an administrative assistant for the last 4 years.
Okay. So how do you, I'm not gonna say how do you like that, but how do you navigate through your good days, your bad days? How do you navigate the waters of administration to make sure that you stay, grounded and,
Like you were saying earlier, prayer is really a very integral part of anything that we do.
Of course.
And so when I first started with the administrative position, I thought that I could just stay in the background. I can hide behind the computer and the emails
It
and
never
the phone
works
calls,
that way.
but that wasn't the way that it worked out.
Here we are.
Here we are. And I thought that that's what I could do. However, I learned very quickly that that's not the case. And I had to pray my way through days where I didn't want to be social, days where I didn't want to be cordial or kind. Because we all have those days, no matter how holy we are. And that's really the way that I press through.
And here's the thing about that. Like, you have these days, but as the front or the first face that most people see when it comes to a church office, like, you have to let those days just kind of roll off your back. Like, okay, I don't feel like this today, but you know what? How are you? What can I do for you? Look, I'm here. And look, it's not even in a fake way. You mean it.
Right.
It's just that there may come a day where you're just not feeling it, and you have to know how to be able to turn on so that you don't offend unintentionally the people that you're serving.
Yes.
And that can be a difficult thing. Everybody, I feel like that's like you have to be graced for that. Everybody can't just turn on and say, you know what, in spite of my day, I'm here to be whatever you need. Yeah, like that's a hard thing. So what is probably if you could point out, I'm gonna do this one. If you could point out a time where you felt unsure about the call, what would it be, and how did you come out of that place to continue?
Well, that's a loaded question. I had a rough year last year where I was unsure about everything. Okay. And I keep hearing you say prayer, but that's really the only way that I pushed through all of that. I had to pray, and I had to remember the promise that God gave me.
Yes, sir. Come on here, you gotta remember
everything. I forgot. Through everything, every trial, every hardship, everything that I was going through, every mental breakdown that I was tempted to have, I remembered the promises of God on my life. Look. And I had to pray my way through it. And each and every time there was confirmation afterwards, whether somebody spoke a word or was in a song or just by reading the word. I was like, you know what? You right, Lord. You right, Lord.
I'm back on it.
I'm back. You right, Lord.
I'm back
Absolutely.
on it.
You know, and I just really pressed my way through.
Right.
And I'm thankful that I was able to hear the voice of God in those low moments.
Yes.
When I wanted to give up.
Yes, and you said the key word. You have to press your way through.
Yeah.
People don't. I feel like we live in a day where people have lost their press their way through. What they want to do is, oh, this not working, I'm going to get up and go to another church.
Right.
Oh, this not working, I'm about to get up and I'm going to get another job. Oh, this car, I done had it with this car. I'm about to get, everything is almost
so
expendable.
Yeah.
It's like nobody wants to plant their feet or their roots where they are. And here's the thing. Every day is not going to be a great day. Absolutely. So even in those times, if your roots are deep, my pastor says this often. He says, sometimes the way out is to go deeper in. Go deeper in.
Yeah.
Like, how far do your roots grow? You have to go deep into the ground to be able to withstand the weather around you, things that happen. And if you don't have that, then you're going to be, I'm going to get up from here. Oh, you know what? That word offended me today. You won't do that to me no more. I'm going to go get this other church up the street. Well, if the word finds you, ma'am, sir, the word has just found you.
Yes.
Like you have to press. You have to press.
Yes, absolutely.
The word says, there were the 4 lepers at the front of the city, and they said, why stay here till we die? We'll press this all the way to the gate.
Absolutely.
People have lost
Absolutely.
pressing all the way to the gate.
Absolutely.
They was just out there. It didn't say that they was out there for just one day. It said that they was there, which means it could have rained. It could have been 120 degrees. They was there. And when they came to themselves, they was ready to press it all the way to the gate. So that's key too. Prayer and pressing. Prayer, the 2 P's of administration. So, really quickly, how did you get enough courage to start your own work? I know that as someone who's used to being in the background, it's easy to get comfortable there because it's like, you know what? I'm good. I have just found my niche. I'm just starting to find my groove in this serving thing and this administration thing. I'm not actually ready to do nothing else just yet. So how is it that you were able to get enough courage to start your own work?
Well, I was doing so many things outside of my purpose.
Okay.
That I was like frustrated because I knew that I should be doing something on my own, but I couldn't get it. But I have a really great circle around me, which includes my leaders. My pastors are Dominic and Whitney Curry.
Come on here, hey!
Of Word of Grace
you
Worship
should have been ringing
Center.
the bell, child.
You're right. Of Word of Grace Worship Center in Waldorf, Maryland. And they pushed me, my husband, who's here, Gerard Lucas.
Yeah, she done picked the bell up. Put that down now. We ready.
They really pushed me.
Okay.
And they really made me see myself. Good. And they're like, listen, you're good at this.
Right.
Do this.
Right.
I know you want to do that because you're used to doing that. But do this. This is what you're good at. This is what you're passionate about. This is what drives you. And what really drives me is helping people and serving and just being there for people. I was telling my husband earlier, I can remember times where I walked into people's houses that I didn't know because they were having functions, and I say, can I help you? You need help?
I do that often.
Like, it's just in me.
It's just in you. It's just in you.
It's not something phony. It's not something that I'm trying to, like, be to any one person. It's just in me to do, to serve, and to give of myself.
Exactly.
And to make other people feel good. that's what makes me
Yeah,
feel
and
feel good.
Lady Wright always says I gotta take over spirit because every time I go somewhere, I'm always like, let me help you do so and so. That shouldn't go right there, but so I definitely understand. So very quickly, because let me tell you something. I did not plan. Okay, let me just make this real clear. I did not plan on talking for 30 minutes initially. It was supposed to be like 20 minutes, maybe. So, what we're going to do, tell us quickly about Serenity Solutions, what you do, what the organization is, how people can find you, and then help us with that.
Okay, so Serenity Assisting Solutions LLC is my baby, and and it's a virtual assisting company, and we offer all things administrative to all people, whether it's your business or your personal life. We offer those, sending emails, your social media management.
Right.
We also do like service procurement. So like if you need a photographer and you can't find it anywhere, we find the best deals for you. We find if you need a party planner, if you need a party planner, if you need a tax person, if you need
come on here,
your
Denise.
book published,
Yes,
we
Lord.
have the capacity to get you connected to the best people at reasonable prices.
Gotcha. That sounds great.
In reasonable time.
Okay.
And it's just my heart's desire to get people connected to do the things that they love to do.
Yeah.
So one of my first clients is really just helping them get their business up off the ground.
Very nice.
And get them started.
Very nice.
That's all they really need. And that's all listen, if that's all you need.
Right, look, I'm here to do whatever you pay me to do now.
Yeah, I'll set you
now,
up.
if your dollars say that you want to do something else, we can do
work with
something
that
else.
But that's what we're really all about, just helping people get to where they want to go.
Okay.
And I'm surrounded by people who do the same thing.
Okay, so tell everybody real quick how they can find Serenity Assisting Solutions.
You can follow us on Facebook, Serenity Assisting Solutions LLC. And you can also follow us on Instagram at Serenity _assisting _ what did I say?
Solutions.
Serenity _assisting _solutions.
All right, so if you could leave any word of advice for those that are new to the call, what would you say?
Really to just stay encouraged and be to your leader what you would want to be to other people. Like, service is giving of yourself. If you want people to give to you, you have to give of yourself to other people. And so if you're just getting started, or if you are just realizing that service is what you're called to do, then give all that you can. Give it all away. Give it all away, because it'll come back to you.
It comes back. It comes back.
It comes back.
It comes back. Thank you for coming tonight. I really appreciate that. Look, you're great, and Serenity is gonna do well. It's gonna do very, very, very well. Praying that God would open doors for you that you didn't even think to have open.
Absolutely.
Praying that everything that you need regarding the business would be sealed and done and taken care of before you can even ask. Praying the best for that particular venture and everything else you put your hand to. And so if I could say any quick last word before we go, continue to press, continue to pray, continue to put your feet to the ground and make what you say God called you to do action. All right. So real quick, the CAA will be doing a couple things this year, and you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, A Woman's Voice. You can find the CAA everywhere. If you're looking to sign somebody up, go ahead. I'll let you know how much it'll be.
Yes, sign them up. Sign them up.
But Lady Wright, thank you so much for giving me the space and the opportunity to step into your yes. You could have asked anybody in the whole world and they would have done it because it's you. But I am honored that you asked me. And so thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love you. And thank you to everybody watching. I pray you all have a great night. And until next week, we are the Lady Nakia Wright Show by the way of the CAA and Serenity Assisting Solutions, LLC. And we are out. Good night.
Good night.
Will you join us as we embark upon making ourselves better from the inside out? We have a lineup of dynamic speakers. We have topics that are uncharted and never discussed before that we will share. Our only desire for the day is that you become better.
You can stifle a victory with the anticipation of failure.
Wow.
And that day